Yo guys, so Cedric just released a type so hell update log and I'm gonna be quick with it. Last video I made or recorded, it was like 20 minutes long. Ain't nobody watching all that, so I'm gonna be quicker this time. Basically, your soul wisp. What is your soul wisp? That is something that represents your life in hell. Running out of lives basically means you're gonna be stuck in purgatory. Now, you can either buy back your life with a death product, or you can kill an NPC to gain your life back in hell. Now, the only ways to wipe is by PvP. Here, if we just read the sentence here, the only way to lose a life is to other players. Dying to the environmental hazards, mobs, or by other means will not take a life from you. Only PvP will. Let's go down a little bit. Here's just talking about how if you start the quest, say you're like halfway done, and then decide, oh, I don't want this mode anymore, I want to get this mode. It restarts the whole thing. So make sure when you guys are trying to do it, make sure you're set in stone with the mode you want to get and finish it completely. If not, you're gonna have to restart. Here's just talking about crafting, basically like Minecraft. You know how, so you want to craft a freaking iron sword. I think it's like a stick and like two iron. It has to be a specific like layout. You can't just do any kind of layout. And with this layout, you can craft items, skills, and artifacts. Next thing here is just talking about what's it called? Their sub mode. Quincy and Soul Reaper sub modes no longer give you a health pack, and then for Quincy's you have to decide if you want to go Let's Do or Cybernetic, as you can have both of those together. Next thing here for Soul Reapers specifically, they get no innate passives or defense without visor, so they still keep the 3 moves because they're the squishiest. Nice. Wrong cards have they just glaze over wrong cards a little bit, and they talk about how they have the highest defense, and because of that they have one partial. And that all ray regen that the races had 3% they have 3% now. Not even accessories give you ray regen now, so you have no ray regen, so use your moves wisely, I guess. Let's go down a little bit. Now for the content one, basically this is just talking about hell has like a few different, it has like ring 1, ring 2, different like areas basically to have to say, and then purgatory is the last one. I want to think about it like Dante's Inferno. Go down a little bit more. We got Fullbringer, we got 2 legendaries, we have 2 mythicals, and a common and a rare. And then for the new elements and reworks, we got Devil Segunda, Benihime, Shikai, and Bankai rework. Finally, they said we're gonna do it last time and never did it. Almighty. Oh god. All I'm saying is Typeso has they have a history of over buffing or overdoing it when it comes to the what's it called, the Quincy's, but hey, no bias. Keep on going. Nimble, Overkill, and Spirit. Go down. Just talking about the new games and stuff like that. Soul Wars, basically this is basically the Valorant for Typeso. Basically, there's 20 characters, 6 DLCs, or not the only Valorant, just other games of course, but the first one that came to mind was just Valorant. But basically just 20 characters with that have already like a preset, like a race, mode, and skills and stuff like that you have to choose and fight other people to do whatever the objective is. Go down a little bit more. AFK World now drops cosmetics, ranked, rework for that. You have 1v1 all the way to 6v6, basically clan wars, and 4v4s. 3v2, that should be sick. What the heck? Keep going down. Basically all they did here was medic rework, and then here we have new move for a wrong card exclusive, Bala Anchor. What the heck is that? Hey, but it sounds cool. All that stuff sounds cool. I'll definitely try that out. Content 2 is basically vows. I'm not gonna go all into it, but basically vow potential, you start off with a debuff, and then over time it becomes a buff. So you start with like a 15% debuff and it becomes a 10% buff. Vow of Fist is locked to Hakata. Basically think about it as the inner gates from Naruto. I think that's quite literally what it is. Vow of Luck, think about it Hikari. Bankrupt is you lose a ton of ray, but if you hit jackpot you deal 5% more damage with that move, or with the move you landed on. Vow of Sacrifice, okay, this thing sounds busted. I read a little about it, but you literally get a ghost that does a freaking move right after you landed your own move. And Air Hawkeye has a version of it for certain moves. Kendo has one for certain moves, and Speed has one for certain moves. So basically, you all have one for like 5 different moves that are like. So like, I'm not gonna get into every single move, but Rising Shot, Catch, and Tora, Air Negation, Whirlwind, Spine that all summons the spirit. Kendo has it for Cinemoshiri. I can't speak. Sukiwari, Bisection, Vertical Down, Overpowering, and Delay. They all have some kind of, all those moves proc it. And Flash Cutscene, Break, Floating, Fast Fang, Waterfall, Spectre, they all proc in and they do some kind of move right after the Spirit does. There's new bosses, Yorichi, Virgil, Bombo, Hatman. And then here we have the Holy Sword Excalibur. A Holy Sword exclusive only to Quincy, can only be wielded by one Quincy out of the entire game, the Chosen One. Can be lost if the conditions are not met to keep the weapon. Quincy only. What the heck? So only one person can have this ever, and there's like certain requirements. Interesting. Now we got Jovel Trigger. New obtainable that will replace your sub mode upgrade in your Yamato while in your base form, or while in your form. What the heck? Interesting. Soul Reapers get Judgment Cut in. Oh god. Arankars get Judgment Cut. Or, let me say that. Arankars get Judgment Cut. Interesting. Arankars. Holy, I can't talk. Soul Reapers get Judgment Cut. Arankars get Judgment Cut and then Quincy's get an auto tracking towards stuff. Nice. Whatever that means. We might be cooked, bro. Because what the hell? Virtual stuff? Aight. Nice. Ancient Vasto card. Basically, all this means is just it's just quest line requirement. You gain unlimited hero but lose your Vasto variant, and then a little, I guess, ability you can say is if guard broken, let out a roar and power raise out will guard break the enemy instead. All that means is you gotta hold block, wait, you just gotta try to parry or perfect dodge it. So interesting. Other secrets and passive abilities you just gotta find out on yourself. Content 3 is basically clans have special clan abilities, and you click H to use them. If you go down, basically, if we go down here, they all have their own stuff. Suzue literally becomes a Magaraga. Urahara, he just blood packed. Consume blood or HP, and you get a speed boost. Hisube, you get nameless, bro, in base with no ink. Sounds kind of crazy. Yamato doesn't have one for the time being because it's changing, I guess. So Rocky, killing intent. Basically, you do more damage the longer you fight, and your combat tags are longer for the people you hit. Shitara, the more keto you have, the slightly higher rate regen you get. Shunashiro, you see people's Ryatsu, she only become faster. Yeah, I ain't trying again, bro. Supreme King. Someone who deals 150% damage to you, their heart starts to race and beat while their screen turns red. Ray regen reduced slightly. Stark, you become Cerebral Connoisseur, bro. That's all there is to it. What is Shrunk Ryatsu? You literally see people's Ryatsu. Or not Ryatsu, you can literally see where everyone's marked on the map, basically. Lucen Baron, enhanced hero, just hero. You get better hero. Jaegerjack, you basically, Jaegerjackis, does a cool animation screen, gain a slight speed boost and damage boost. Cipher, you basically get power, or not basically, you get a powered bottle with a higher cooldown now. You don't gotta be proficiency. Wonder what happens if you got proficiency and Cipher. That'd be kind of cool. Sheeta gets 2 mythical downs, or 2 mythicals for their clan. Nice. Sheeta basically, when you run out of Ray, you get what, 10% Ray pack. Kurosaki, when below 50% Ray, you gain a glowing glow and slight buffs. What are these slight buffs, bro? Because when it comes to type, so when it's a slight nerf, slight buff, ain't slight, bro. It's either one way or another. Now the thing, you literally tank 80% of income damage, 10% chance to proc though. Valkyrie, 50% damage pen when below 50%, and 5% defense when below 50 Ray. So basically 55% defense on top of accessories. That just sounds busted, man. But at the same time, it's only when you're below 50. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything about that. B, it's changing parking jobs, skill perfection. Basically, then your next move doesn't go on cooldown. Nice, okay, that's really pretty cool. Lavar, anti-gank. Basically, the more people that have combat tags on you, the more defense you get. And I'm not, well, it doesn't say it has a limit. I'm assuming it has a limit. Same thing with Fullbringers. They have their own stuff. Orihime, you literally just revive. Escape death once with a slight heal over time. Sato, partial regeneration. Genjo, basically you steal people's Ray on hit, and it depends how much Ray they have. Tsukishima, Amnesia. Michibane, Reliance. So when someone in your party gets knocked, you get a speed boost and damage boost over time. You have the Fullbringer Keto moves, and then Content 4 is basically the true modes. Basically, Shinigami's True Bankai focuses on barriers and domains, and they have a whole list of all the ones that have Bankai, or True Bankai, Now for Arankars, They're barrierless environmental. Basically, as you guys seen with Vampire, it's literally like acid rain that follows the user who has that true mode popped. And then for Quincy's, I have Discovery. I don't know what the heck it is. Let's just read it here. Are mainly focused around advantage, gimmick, barrierless domain types. These modes are very dangerous as some modes can completely change the tide of a fight altogether. Jack of all trades. Some require certain preparations or critical thinking. All I'm gonna say is critical thinking and explode. Let's be honest now. When we all hop on explode, nobody thinking. it's just spam, bro. That's how you play it. Next thing is basically the big challenging. It's just basically them re-talking about everything just in one line. Wrong cars went partial. All loot and modes basically reworked. Partial essence no longer gives you 3 moves. It just resets the cooldown of on your partial wave feline Cero. All ray regen on accessories removed. Quincy's can't have cybernetic and Let's still no longer use health pack and medallions removed. If you have true Bankai, you can no longer get your Bankai stolen by medallion. Sekai stasis, instead of it being 10% damage loss, is now 5%. Wrong cars, Quincy's Shinigami's ray regen reduced from 10% to 3. What the heck? Wasn't one of the buffs for a wrong car specifically it was a little bit higher ray regen, so they just nerfed that completely. Nice. If you had an ultra skill, it is now removed from your inventory. Ultra skills and essences now share the same slot. You can no longer have both. That's stupid. What the heck? If you're Air Hakuto, I ain't reading Hakuto, bro. Starfish Supernova or uses percentage now. Okay, actually, let me read it, bro. If you're Air Hakuto, all manual scripts manual up till only if you have the air path, except for wrestling. I don't even know what wrestling is, bro. Have I not played Hakuto that long? Basically, here I'm not gonna read every single thing here because it's literally just Wake got buffed. Same thing with Starfish, basically what's it called, Superstar. Sonata Flow now guard breaks percentage, but it's like percentage now. I don't even know what the heck that means, bro. Now what else? Superstar Ash got nerfed, Assimilation got nerfed, and basically all these what's it called, weapons got their swing speed renewed, or what's it called? Damn, bro, I can't talk. Reduced. These keto moves nerfed. Here is just gonna talk about what crits now give soul style. Nice. Decrease, I don't know what the heck that is. Superstar, new ability. Miracle has a new like a revive thing. Basically, if you get knocked, you do divine presence, but it doesn't what's it called, give you mode back on that divine presence. Not the actual mode, but just like the passive divine presence that you get now. And now Superstar Revive rework. The revive doesn't have a limit anymore. It has 1 revive per pop, but each time the user revives, their health gain is reduced by 25%. So basically 4 times you're gonna be able to like 4 to 5 times you can revive now. Pressure shift and lags, no nerfed. Hakuto negation can now be parried or evaded. Hakuto conflict, what's it called? Wind up reduced. That thing was already crazy. What do you mean reduced? Okay. Duality switch no longer resets cooldown. I thought that was the whole gist of duality, but I guess not. Here, all ultra skills nerfed. True Blunt removed until they rework it. Blood Artery no longer gets ray regen, it's 0% now. And then what's it called? X and Z variant of those partials, Storm and Vamp. The hold variant was always being used. I guess they fixed it, even though I remember using the non-held version, I guess. Now boss raids only drop the things that are listed. Before it was possible to get, a true hog, a hog, rerolls. Now it doesn't do that anymore. You only get the things that are listed in this like description for that boss, and reverted paraframes to the one everyone likes. Interesting. And then here, I guess I forgot to add for Excalibur, if you attempt to pull it without requirements, you cannot pull it again on that slot. AKA, make sure you have the requirements if you're trying to get Excalibur. If not, you're cooked. But yeah, that's gonna sum it up. Hopefully this video is shorter than the one I made before. Oh, the other one was 20 minutes. Hopefully it's shorter. But yeah, that's quite literally the gist and everything of today's update log that they what's it called, published like 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. Hopefully you guys I guess understood it and I talked about everything. If you guys want to see more content on Type Soul, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and make sure you guys just, got a question or something, just hit me down in the comments, bro. I answer you. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it there, short and simple. I'll see you guys on my next upload, guys. See you guys.